business reporter Randall Williams about the groundbreaking deal and why it's a big deal for Watkins and for Boston Legacy FC.
She was really excited about it. I think this came pretty natural for both parties. Boston Legacy FC has done a lot of work grabbing celebrities. Caleb Williams is an investor. Aaliyah Boston of the Indiana Fever is an investor. And so this falls in line with Juju Watkins, with Boston Legacy. And so it's a big deal for her. And it's the first deal that I've seen where it's a women's college player becoming a sports owner before they're a professional, which is crazy.
It is crazy. And we're still at the very beginning of what could be a historic career for Watkins. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah.
Hey there, everybody. How you doing? Good morning to you. Welcome to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. You've made it to Thursday, December 11, 2025. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's a whole crowd of people cheering. You ever notice that white folks will be mad at everybody except themselves? Like they will create a problem, like institutional and structural racism, build on it, maintain it, and then say stuff like, We have a problem in this country with institutional and structural racism. Isn't that wild? They will build a nation on the backs of other people in which their superiority, if they have such a noun, is built on and through the bodies of other people. And they build this great nation, and they create the structures and the laws of the nation. The nation is so awesome that other people from other nations want to come here. And as long as they come from certain latitudes, as far as nations go, oh, then you're totally welcome. We'll even have a statue that'll welcome you, the Statue of Liberty. Give us your tired, your poor, huddled masses, or whatever it says. But if you're from other places, they'll say, no, you can't come here, though. And the people from the other places are like, well, why not? Well, because we're worried there might be too many of you. Okay, but what about all the other people from the northern latitudes and those European countries that you let in? Are you worried about America ever having too many of them? Well, no, of course not. We want more of them, but like less of you. At some point during today's show, we're going to talk about this new ruling that the Supreme Court is going to deliver to us eventually about birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship here in the United States there's a couple of different explanations. The Latin term is jus soli, Jussoli. It means of the soil. If you are born here, you are an American citizen, period, point blank, hands down. There's no argument. There's no discussion. What the Trump administration wants to do in the ruling that the Supreme Court is going to decide, which is going to totally upend every single conversation and law and eligibility when it comes to anything related to your citizenship, is called just sanguine or something like that. It's some Latin word for blood. Meaning, if you're born here and your mama and them aren't citizens, you aren't either. And newborn babies would be subject to deportation. This is where we're at in this country. Now, they have created whatever the immigration mess and or crisis is, but then they'll say things like, we have an immigration crisis in this country. No, we don't. You do. Like, they'll have the problem and then say, we have a problem. No, we don't. We can say things like the black woman infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate in America is still too high. Then they'll say something like, we have a problem in this country with the black maternal and infant mortality rate being too high. No. White folks have the problem where everybody else is affected by it. I just find it so incredibly disturbing. Like, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning just thinking about the problems that were created by their failures and their shortcomings, and then they say, we have to figure this problem out. No, we don't. You do. Think about some of the most egregious things that take place in this country every single day, and I assure you it is not black-on-black crime. It's working people that can't afford to live. It's people that have more money than they know what to do with, that they'll never be able to spend getting gifts and tax breaks that they didn't even ask for, which is starving people right now. Like, homes are going to be foreclosed on. People are going to get evicted because rich people have so much money that there literally is not enough money for people to eat. Talking about, we have an affordability crisis. No, you have an affordability crisis, and it's hurting all of these other people. More on that later. I'm just going to start ranting because, quite honestly, I figured out no matter what I have planned to talk about, y'all just going to take the show in a different direction anyway. So before I get to my rants, which I prefer they start around hour 3, got some information I'd like to get out to you today. So I was reading this article. I read a few of them, and we have a poll on YouTube. Hold on, let me check with Rick first. Let me check with him. Good morning, Rick. How are you doing today? You okay? You busy? I got to check with you first.
I'm good today. How are you?
All right. I'm cool. I'm a little angry.
Why are you angry?
It's
Thursday.
I think it's old age creeping up on me, and I'm just looking at things a lot different.
Oh, you one of those crabby old? You becoming one of those crabby old men?
Oh God! And sometimes I love it because I earned the right to be angry at stuff. Because a lot of stuff that I didn't understand or recognize as a younger person, but now that I'm older, I'm like, hey, white people did all of that, and then they're like, we have a problem with this in our society, Sherwin. No, the hell we don't. White folks are kind of like a woman that won't take responsibility for her actions, right? She just blames everybody else. Am I gonna get in trouble for saying that?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to see. But aren't they like that? Like, they'll admit somebody else's fault. Like, they had never did anything wrong. It's like, well, yeah, we laid the foundation for a racist country, but, I mean, now it's everybody's problem. No, it's not. It's your problem, and everybody else is affected by it. They just make stuff our problem. And now, here's what's crazy. Black people have to come up with an answer and a solution for racism that was created by white people, right? So when we come up with our answer, and I don't know what it is, maybe it's policy, maybe it's education, who knows what it is. We then have to present it to white people where they'll be like, nah.
So are you saying you want white people to do the A word, the big A word?
What's the big A word? Ass?
Accountability.
Oh. No, because they won't know what it looks like. Because they'll just say stuff like, well, I wasn't here when all that racism stuff was going on. It's not my fault. And I hear them when they say that. But let me give you an example of how people still roll their sleeves up and fix problems that they didn't create. That is their number one defense. They'll say something stupid like, I didn't own slaves. Of course you didn't. You were probably more likely to be one because you and your whole family is broke. I didn't own any slaves, Sherwin. It's not my fault. We know that you didn't own any slaves. We know that. And we know that you didn't create the problem. We know you had next to nothing to do with it, if I'm being honest. But the systems that were created, you are able to benefit from. Now, that's a whole conversation that most of them are not ready for. But here's an example of how people take accountability for things that they did not create. Let's say we have a real bad storm. We have a bad tornado, and it does tornadic things. Let's say it comes through the south side of Milwaukee. A bad tornado. It's really terrible. It's windy, and trees are flying, and debris is flying, and you look up and you say, oh, no, it's a Cadillac in the air. Because, tornadoes have a lot of wind, and there's debris everywhere, and there's wood and metal. Somebody's roof just flew off. Bricks are flying. Can you imagine the scene? A very bad tornado, and it's swirling because tornadoes swirl. And then after about 7 or 8 minutes of what seems like an eternity, the tornado passes. And look at all of the destruction that is left in the wake of the tornado. There's debris everywhere. Houses are demolished. Somebody lost their dog because the dogs got swept up in the tornado. Someone was swept off to Kansas like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. It leaves a tremendous amount of damage, and then you have the aerial views, and you just see houses that are destroyed and buildings and offices that are destroyed, and all the windows are broken out. Can you guys see the scene? It's really, really bad. It's very tragic. And then they'll have interviews with people that lost everything. It's very sad. Okay? But then what happens after that? And maybe it's not even a tornado here. Maybe it's a major storm that hits the Gulf Coast of the United States. Or maybe it's severe flooding that harms the people somewhere in Dallas, Texas, somewhere. A huge natural disaster that none of the individual people who were affected or who live in those towns had anything to do with that natural disaster. But what do? They take responsibility for the cleanup even though they didn't cause the storm. Does that resonate with anybody? We know you didn't cause the problem. We know that. Just like you didn't cause the torrential rains and the floods and the tornadoes, but the aftermath, you participate in cleaning up. And white folks will do that unless it is racism that is created by them. Then they say, we have a problem. Okay, fair enough. We have a problem. How are you going to help clean it up? Well, we're not. How about we let you black and brown people that are impacted? Why don't you guys come up with a solution on how to fix a problem that we created? Because here's where the trap is. This is why I think racism is still persisting and getting better and more elegant and smarter. And quite honestly, now it's woven into AI, which I want us to be very vigilant of. They ask us to come up with solutions because they pretend to care. Like, okay, what do you want? We want, I don't know, better wages, more opportunity, more investment in our infrastructure, in our schools, more job training and placement so we can reduce the skills gap. So we'll put up like all of these like really logical fixes that could at least attempt to level the playing field. Will it level it completely? No, but these will be steps in the right direction. And so we'll present all of these answers, these rebuttals to racism, right? We'll present it to the white folks, and what the white folks do is they take all of our solutions and they build the next generation of racism off of our solutions. So even the solutions that we have will never see the light of day because they'll fortify their racism so that those solutions that we came up with will never change anything. So when we present to them how we want to fix a problem that they created, they take our ingenuity and creativity and they use that to create the next generation of racists. Joe Brennan is getting into the governor's race on a totally separate note. I know him. He's a white guy. He's nice, though. He's a nice fella. He is. I've known him for 25 years. You know what? And I trust him. He's a good white person. He's one of the white people that if I say, hey, Joel, here's how we solve racism. He's like, well, hell, I'll roll my sleeves up and we'll solve it together. See, we need more worker bees like him. Why don't we do this? We're going to take a break, come back. I am going to talk about the latest entrant into the Wisconsin gubernatorial campaign. I think you got how many Democrats now? 10, 12? It's one hell of a dinner party worth of Democrats that are currently running to be the Democratic nominee for governor. But this is a good thing, yes? It's healthy for the democracy or whatever the hell they say. Because of the 10 or 12 or 38 Democrats that are running, except for Mandela Barnes, each of them are going to have different ideas, different positions, different pathways to a better Wisconsin, a more stable economy, and how we can push back against Donald Trump's most egregious impulses, you see. So we're going to take a break, going to come back. I'm going to stop blaming the white folks, which is the title of the show today. Rick, does this make me racist? I'm just honest.
I was thinking like, Sherwin's kind of on the racist side this morning, but I didn't want to say nothing.
I'm tired of our people getting screwed over, and then they make it think that it's our fault. Like, we didn't create any of this, but we have to be the ones to figure it out. And we're really smart people. Like, I don't want them to gaslight our people. Like, we're really smart, and we come up with these ingenious ways in which how we can have a better society. And then white folks are just like, nah, try again. And we're like, okay. And then for some reason, we think that, like, the consolation prize, if we come up with the best fix for racism that we then sell to white people, that we have to lobby white people on why they're screwing everything up. And we think that, like, when we do that and we're successful, that we're going to get reparations. Like, we have a cash prize waiting for us when we as black people figure out how to undo their system of racism. None of that is ever going to happen. They're never going to reward us for finding a solution to where they get their superiority from. Because I just want my people to know that, like, we're not nuts here. Like, this stuff that is happening to us has been orchestrated and perpetuated on every single generation of African Americans since our inception in this country. But now all of a sudden they want us to come up with the fixes for racism that they'll never implement. And again, we know that some of the systems that exist, the white people that are around today, they weren't like directly responsible for some of the chaos that exists and some of the unfairness, but there's a responsibility to fix it. Just like the damn tornado that causes all of the destruction. People are not going to say, well, I didn't cause this tornado. I'm not going to clean anything up and help my neighbors. You know, and we know you didn't cause the damn tornado, but you have a responsibility to pick up the damn bricks and the 2x4s and find the person's dog and the Cadillac that went flying because it was a tornado. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner
corner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
David, tryna look me in my eyes. Tell me everything that I said twice.
Our phone number, if you're so inclined, if you want to rant with me today, and I'm sure some of you will, as long as it's not Bob, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. I had to quickly turn the volume down on that song, Rick, because I think there's some profanities laden in the lyrics somewhere. But they don't come in until, 25 or 26 seconds, so I had to turn off the volumes.
What's wrong with Bob ranting?
It doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes it do.
To who? To him? Sometimes what he says doesn't even make sense to himself. Like, he just has a bunch of thoughts in his head, and his thoughts can be, it's never about the current topic I'm on. It's stuff that, he once considered, something that happened to him last week, something that went on at the grocery store, and then he'll remember a show from 14 months ago, and he'll bring that topic up, and then he wants to talk about Putin and Ukraine, and then something, Donald Trump, and then he'll start thinking about music. And so if I'm confused, and I know who Bob is, someone who is listening to this program for the first time is even more confused. That is where my concern is. If you're just turning this show on for the first time and you hear Bob, or if you hear Al, if Al is your first impression of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, you don't even understand why I'm on the air. I wouldn't understand why I'm on the air.
Wait, which Al are you talking about?
Any of them. Any of them. We don't have a single sane Al. So our Al, we got Al from Sherman Park, who is a black gay Catholic Trumper, but lives in the hood. And oh, look at that! See? And you know what? No, I just answer the damn phone with Dan. Hello?
Hi, Sherwin?
Yes. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about you? Good morning. I wasn't expecting for you to answer.
I wasn't expecting for me to answer either, but I'm hot today, so I'm just going to pick the phone up whenever it rings. What's on your mind today?
Good. So I'm happy you opened up the floor to rant, because this is kind of aligned with what you're discussing as a result of racism. But I just wonder if anybody else that's probably working in corporate America or even nonprofit organizations is noticing the increased, racism or passive aggressiveness that's happening within the workplace. Because I've experienced it recently for the first time after working 30 years. And I'm just wondering if it's the climate that's giving folks the courage.
Yep.
To do some of the microaggressions that I just never experienced before. So I'm just wondering if anybody else is noticing that in the workplace.
Absolutely, we are. 100%. What you are seeing and hearing is real. But you also, in that climate, Glad you brought this up, because in this climate where the microaggressions are now starting to feel a little bit more macro, you got to be real careful if you speak up and say something, because that can be your exodus from your job.
Yeah, I had to go to HR for the first time in life, being in an administrative position, and I had to even explain. I said, I just never had to do this before, and I did it for the first time last week. So I'm just wondering. I'm like, it's really interesting to see, how folks tend to speak to you and how their true feelings are starting to come out, because I think they feel that they are protected. So I was just wondering, if anybody else is feeling it the way that I am.
Yep, we are. You're not alone.
All right.
You got a friend in us.
Well, this is not the friends I want to have, and I'm not happy to hear other people are going through it, but I think it kind of confirms what I was thinking. Like, yeah, it's the climate, and folks are a little froggy. So this is where we are.
Thank you for sharing that rant with us. We appreciate you, and we're going to keep praying for you, keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thanks, Sherwin.
All right, you're welcome. Anybody else got a rant? We can do that. We can take rants today. When DEI becomes the enemy and it's on the chopping block, there's an attitude that goes along with that. Whenever diversity is not respected, and diversity should be respected because people that have different backgrounds than you have different ways to solving a problem, unique ways, creative ways. Because if you are stuck, and I asked, like, corporate people that I know, I always ask them the same question. It's, what issue do you have in your business and your company that just keeps circling the drain? It's the same issue, you know what I mean? It keeps coming back. If you could eradicate this issue, and maybe the issue was there before they started the company, before they got incorporated, that issue was there their first year of operation, their second, their third, their fifth year. There are years in which that particular issue seems subdued, where the issue is hibernating, but it always seems to come back. I asked them what that is, and there's always a problem. No matter what the business, the company is, there's always an issue that just continues to circle the drain, and it never fully goes down the toilet, you see. A lot of times, bringing in new people, diverse people, people that may have a background that is not the same as everybody else's, can be the answer to whatever their problem is that circles the drain. But here's something that white folks are really, really cautious about. They're worried about their culture. They will maintain a workplace culture that is palatable for them, that is comfortable for them, that is completely non-productive. What black people do, because oftentimes when we get in corporate spaces, we are hyper aware of our blackness, and we continue to show up for our community no matter where we're at. And that potentially can change their climate. And sometimes they would rather be unproductive but maintain their corporate culture and their corporate, like, this climate. And will lose money hand over fist, right? Instead of having risk and taking risk, because you got to take risks to start a company, but they oftentimes don't take risk on people that may interrupt whatever their culture is. And I'm here to tell them that maintaining that culture is your problem. And as long as you want to maintain that culture where nothing and no one is challenged, you're not willing to face new ideas. I mean, you got to stare down the barrel of a gun, because looking at new ideas that may change your whole climate of the workplace, that's how you become successful. And also, if you scared money don't make no money now. If you scared of what free-thinking, creative black people, because you understand how creative you have to be as a black person in this society to even be successful? You have to outthink everything, everyone, every system that was built to make sure we're not successful. And if we rise to a certain level, do you have any idea of what kind of hell we had to walk through? There's a resilience in the black corporate professional that is not even understood by white folks. And white folks will have problems. They'll have issues. Absolutely they will. But their race has never been one of them. They don't even know what it's like, because if they are in a place or in a space where they are outnumbered when it comes to race, they'll leave that place. Let a white person walk into a bar, a nightclub, or a restaurant where it's 99% black folks. Uh-oh. Looks like I came on the wrong night. But we go into white spaces all the time and have to be ourselves. And then even when we say something about us feeling slightly uncomfortable, this is such a, incredible social experiment, which I challenge everybody to do. If you go to a function or an event and you're the only black person there, there's only a few black people there. I've talked about this before. And you might have a couple of white folks in that group in this corporate function. Remember, it might be a Christmas party because this is holiday party season, right? And you might have a couple of white folks there that you know really well and you're comfortable with them. Mention to them that you feel a little uncomfortable because you're the only black person there. They will get offended that you feel that way. You're safe here? What do you mean you don't feel comfortable here? All right, cool. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to tell you that how you feel ain't real, which is fine. But then hopefully an opportunity arises where you get to take that same white person that gaslit your discomfort, take them to an all-black space and see how they act. And then let them tell you, or they'll ask you, hey, am I safe here? Is everyone gonna be okay with me here? What do you mean, is everyone gonna be okay with you here? Of course not, Whitey. They're probably gonna murder you. And you say that in jest, of course. Take a break, come back. Joe Brennan is running for governor. In case I didn't mention that. Like, he's not connected to this stuff. He's a good white. Got to have some good whites. No, here's what you do, though. Like, you take... Because white people don't all like each other.
Why you make it sound materialistic, like he's a good white, like he belongs to somebody?
White is material. It's a shield. It's a weapon. It's a defense, right? It's all those things.
You are on one today.
No, I'm not. I'm feeling real good. White is a defense. And I said it before, I'd be the best white person ever because I know how to use my white weapon. I'd help all the blacks, even if they didn't want it. Come here, black. I'm going to help your black ass. You look like you need some help from me. Come here. Get in line, blacks. I'm here to help. I'm going to help you because you need me. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Calidora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake. You make time for everyone else. Family, work, everything in between. Now it's time to take care of you. If you're 45 to 64 and don't have insurance or your plan doesn't cover screenings, you may qualify for free mammograms and Pap tests through the City of Milwaukee Health Department's Breast and Cervical Cancer Awareness Program. Call 414-286-2133 to see if you're eligible. Real self-care starts with your health, and early detection saves lives. Funded by Wisconsin Well Woman. Learn more at milwaukee.gov/wellwoman.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Being a baddie isn't just like how you look. It's like your mentality, like a baddie.
I feel like I always knew I was a baddie because, you know, my mom's a baddie. And when your mom's a baddie, you're going to be a baddie.
You're going to be a baddie, Rick.
So
Are you a baddie
too.
today? You're clocking T.
Baddest in the room.
Vanessa said she's tired of the microaggressions. Yeah, let me give you another example. Women can say, hey, there's a real problem with sexual harassment at fill in the blank workplace. And like real examples of men being disgusting. I don't know why it's so hard for men to work with women, you know? And so women will say, hey, there's a problem with everything from pay disparity to unfair treatment to comments that make people uncomfortable. And the company will say, we have a problem with sexual harassment. Let's put on a training, which the women who are harassed also have to attend. But the women don't have the problem the men do. But then the company be like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. How are you getting to the bottom of it when women are in the same damn training? Like, you put the victims and the perpetrators in the same room, and then the perpetrators learn how to not make their sexual harassment as obvious. They're still going to do it. They're just not going to do the stuff that's outlined in the training. It's like you have a mass shooter drill. These elementary school kids and middle school kids and high school kids will have a mass shooter drill because we have a mass shooting problem in classrooms, which is a really insane thing to say. So we're going to have a mass shooter drill, but in the mass shooter drill is the next mass shooter. So now the mass shooter knows the mass shooter drill. So the drill that you're doing is informing the perpetrator. If women say, oh, we have a problem with sexual harassment, let's have a sexual harassment training. Now the sexual harassers know how to avoid accountability because they now see the actions and behaviors that are going to be the most glaring, so they'll just do it a different way. We have a problem in this country with institutional and structural racism. Hey, blacks, come up with a solution and then let us know what you come up with because we have a problem with institutional and structural racism. And here's the thing. No, as black people, no, we don't. It's a white people problem, but we are impacted by it. They want us to come up with a solution. So even like the women who are sexually harassed, like, all right, ladies, come up with an idea of how you can be less of a victim. And then we will also share with your perpetrators what you came up with so your perpetrators can still continue to perpetrate. But they'll just do it differently. They'll do it smarter this time. Now they'll contact you on your social media outside of work instead of on the work emails. Let's talk to Linda. You're on 1017 The Truth. Hello, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Professor. And good morning to all the beautiful black and white people of 101.7 The Truth in Milwaukee and America.
Hey Sherwin.
You got me erect. Because I'm
put that thing away, Linda. Put it away.
I know. I'm sapiosexual, so, you know, when you hit that intellectual pivot, it's like I get all, you know, aroused and stuff. I be ready to come down there.
Don't you come on. Don't you come down here with that thing. Don't you bring it down here.
Oh, you just know how to break it down, and then you know how to personify the characters when you're telling the story and giving us that picture. It's like we just right there in the middle of the story, and it's like, man, you just have us on pins and needles for real. The way you take us up and down and highs and lows, like I said, you make us happy, mad, glad, and sad, and sometimes horny. Because when you get into your gift, man, I just feel it coming. But I have a rant because I'm a black woman. Hello, in America.
Wasn't that just your rant? You have another rant?
I have a rant. It's really okay. First of all, microaggression in the workplace has always been there. It's just that now today it has become emboldened, or they have become emboldened with it because they feel like they are safe in racist America. So, but I just feel like we have the law to protect us. And like Martin Luther King says, the law cannot legislate your heart, but at least the law can stop them from lynching us and mistreating us, and then we can sue that, So, but I want to go on to say, too, Sherwin, it's fear. Fear, the false evidence appearing real of black people, like you say, probably they fearing we're going to come back and do them like they did us. We ain't got nowhere near, that type of violence within us. But that leads me to why we look over the fact that it's scientifically proven that Caucasians are 97% human, 3% Neanderthal, and the most violent people on Earth. So why can't we recognize this distinction?
Now that was racist.
And this is where their abnormality is coming out of. Hello? They're the only humans that come out of this craziness, and I think it's the 3% Neanderthal. That's my rant.
All right. Thanks, Linda.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Mm-hmm. What kind of a Pandora's box have I opened up? So microaggressions, I don't know. I think I remember a time when they didn't exist, or maybe we didn't name them. I have been in, my corporate spaces have been different because I've mostly worked in politics where everybody was a Democrat. And I mean, Democrats can be racist too. But there was also a point in time where some time ago, maybe late 20th century, where white folks just didn't say anything to you at all. They just didn't talk to you. You see them in the morning, you say hello, they say hello, and then that was it. You just went and you did your work, they did their work. If you had a meeting, you come together for the meeting. Hey, Sherwin here, what do you have to contribute to the meeting? Okay, thank you. And then Susie, what do you have? And Susie would contribute. Okay, everybody, thank you for the great meeting. We'll see you next week when we do our staff meeting. And then that was it. You just went back and you sat your ass down, and Susie sat her ass down. You didn't really have a lot of communication between the two of you. You didn't go to happy hour. You didn't have lunch together. You worked together, and it was perfectly fine. Nobody rocked the boat. Nobody brought up the election. You just did your thing. See, now it's different. Now it's, oh, hey, hi. Who are you? What do you do? What are you working on? Oh, okay. Can you send me that? What you're working on? Can I just take a look at it? And can I just see? Oh, you don't. What do you mean you don't want to send it to me? Why are you getting so angry and aggressive with me? I'm just asking to see what you're working on because we all work for this same company. How come you're refusing to participate in what I'm requesting you? HR write-up. It didn't used to be like that. They used to just not even. We didn't even care about who else was in the workplace. You were there to do your job. You did it to the best of your ability, and you went home and you clocked out for the weekend, and you did it all over again on Monday. Now it's a little different. Now they're just all up in you. So how are you doing your work? Like, what's your workflow? Can I see it? Actually, you know what? Can we do a meeting on next Tuesday? Can you check your calendar? Because I just want to see what your workflow is and see if it aligns with principles. Wait, what? No. So how do you spend your time between projects? Like what are you doing? Like how are you? I want to. Oh, you don't want to. What do you mean you don't want to tell me? Well, that's not fair because we're all in this culture together. Why are you being so obtuse? Why are you being uncooperative? Why are you being insubordinate? HR. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that some of my brown and black brothers and sisters are feeling is very, very real. And then when you go home, you're a mess because there's so much you want to say. Because we have to deal with this like all the time, and white folks have no idea. If they're the ones that are perpetuating the microaggression on this day, we dealt with it with somebody else. We dealt with it at the store. We dealt with it when we went here. We dealt with it when we were getting our car fixed. We get inundated with it, and they have no concept of it whatsoever. What I'm gonna start doing, because I saw this content creator on Instagram. He lives in an apartment building. It's so funny, and he's African American. And most of the people that live in this particular apartment building are white. And he basically is playing the role of a Karen. So as soon as the white folks walk into the apartment building, he clearly sees them, they have the key card or they have a key to open up the door to enter the apartment building. He's like, oh, hey, how are you? And the white people are like, fine. And the black guy's like, do you live here? I've never seen you before. Are you sure you belong here? I've never seen you. I've lived here for 5 years and I've never seen you before. You should see the look on these white folks' faces. Because I'm sure you all have seen the different videos of an African-American man usually walking into an apartment building where he clearly lives, where he clearly has a lease, where he clearly has a key card or a key to get in, and some random white person will just question his existence being in that building and ask him if he actually lives there, if he belongs there. What's your apartment number? Maybe we should start doing it to them. When I walk into the 3rd Street Market Hall, I see some unsavory characters, right? I'll be wanting to ask them, like, oh, hi, do you work here somewhere in the market hall? Like, what do you... Because the corporate offices are on the 2nd floor and above. And when we park in the parking structure, we all walk into these same doors together. And you need a key card to open the door. And sometimes I'll be wanting to... Because if I open the door, right, somebody might walk in behind me because they're not using their key card. They're just taking advantage of the fact that I'm walking in front of them and they'll walk in behind me. So what I should start doing is, hey, I'm sorry, hi, no, do you work? Where do you work? Are you sure you work in the building? Maybe I should start doing that. Because they also said that we should not allow people to walk into the door. You guys know what I'm talking about when you have like a little key card to buzz the door open? The key card is issued to employees. Just want to make sure we all know what I'm talking about. But then if I use my key card to open the door, somebody will walk in directly behind me. We're supposed to literally close the door. I've had somebody do it to me before. Like he ran, he was a little bit ahead of me. I don't know, 3 or 4 yards ahead of me. He ran, he opened the door with the key card and he quickly shut the door behind him. I was like, okay, cool. What if I started doing that? Like, hi, do you work here? Like, so what do? You work on the 3rd floor. Do you mind if I come up there with you and just make sure that you work there?
Funny that you brought that up because a security guard asked me this morning, did I work here?
No offense, Rick, but
this is 2nd time asking me, but he barely bees here, so I just find it offensive when people ask, do I work here because of what I look like?
Well, here's what's crazy. The security guards look like you.
Yes, exactly.
But some of them I shouldn't say it. They might be listening. Some of them are jerks.
I don't care. I snapped on them this morning. Like, dude, don't ask me that. Don't ask me that again. I didn't say it in that tone or that manner, but I was pretty aggressive this morning because it's like, dude, it's 8 in the morning. You're harassing me because it's the 2nd time you asked me, do I work here?
Yeah, they do sometimes pick on African American. They racially profile other black people, but while they're doing that, like 9 cars are getting stolen. You know what I mean? Like 3 people are robbing restaurants and they over here asking Rick if he works here. But that's, I guess that's par for the course. Just like I know that I would be a terrible police officer. I would pull over a lot of black people. I pull over white people too, but a lot of blacks. Because I can look at a black person and tell if they got dope and guns in the car. I'm serious. I can. I'm very good at that. Now, I might be wrong a couple of times, and then they're going to sue the department, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, I'd pull over many blacks. Oh, by the way, our new reckless driving law here in the city of Milwaukee, in 20 days, 21 cars have been impounded. I have to talk about that. So can we stop ranting at 10 o'clock? At 10 o'clock, I'm going to get into regularly scheduled programming because I do want to tell you guys about this new reckless driving law that is in effect right now as we speak in the city of Milwaukee. Remember, we wanted something to be done about reckless drivers, right? So now they have a law where it's not even if you're a habitual offender for reckless driving. If they catch you driving recklessly one time, they can snatch your vehicle and take it to the tow lot, and then you got to go to the tow lot, you got to pay your fines, you got to pay the storage fee, you got to bring proof of insurance. It's really, really expensive. Here's the problem. Reckless driving is not really defined by law. It's just like, oh, being dangerous with your car. I'm sometimes dangerous with my car if I got to get somewhere before the place closes or if I got to go number 1 or number 2. Can't have my car being snatched with this new law because I got to get to the bathroom real quick. You know what I mean? I sometimes drive fast, Rick. Sometimes you don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, I know what car you drive, too.
Nothing, leave me alone about it. You don't know what kind of car I drive. You mentioned the kind of car I drive once, and everybody heard it. Now they people in the chat be talking about the kind of car I drive. Y'all leave me alone.
I never said what type of car you drive.
Well, yes, you did. You let it slip out.
Oh, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Man.
JD mentioned it the other day. He said, Rick said what kind of car Sherwin got. You also cuss, too, sometimes and don't realize it. So you do slip things in there. So, look what time it is. I got to take a break now. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
For 20 years, Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive has brought our community together, sharing the importance of giving, encouraging acts of kindness, and us kids helping other kids.
Join Capco and WTMJ for the 20th anniversary and a celebration of giving on Saturday,
December 13th at the Kasmeric Center for Human Performance in Grafton. This is more than just a toy drive. It's about community and learning how generosity can change lives across Wisconsin.
Be part of the magic.
Bring your family, bring your friends, and most importantly,
bring toys.
Because the joy of giving is the greatest gift of all.
Let's make this Christmas brighter for each child and family. Learn more at kidstokids.toydrive.com. That's kids, the number 2, kidstoydrive.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Orthodontic Experts Wisconsin believes everyone deserves a confident dream smile. We offer braces for $195 a month, subject to terms and conditions, and accept most major insurance plans like Medicaid, traditional metal braces, discrete gold braces, and invisible clear aligners. Orthodontic Experts creates personalized treatment for the whole family. With clinics in Beloit, Hills Corners, Madison, Menominee Falls, and Mount Pleasant, there's no reason to wait on your smile transformation. Call Orthodontic Experts today for your no-cost consultation. 855-720-2470.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Reggie says, go check in on the elderly. mobility impaired and homebound citizens in your midst. The life you save just might be next door. Dude, what are you, a PSA? You know, you can't just go knock on an old person's door. First of all, if they got mobility issues, how the hell they gonna get to the door, man? Come on, dog. This ain't the world of the 70s where you can go, somebody come knock on my door to check on me, I'm answering with my pistol. Seriously, what you mean come knock on my door? Oh, that's old man Hughes. Let's go check on old man Hughes. I hope to be known as old man Hughes on my block one day. Old man Hughes, you in there? And all they're going to hear, they're going to put the ear up to the door. Old man Hughes, we checking on you. We ain't seen you outside in a while now. Old man Hughes. They're going to put the ear to the door. You know what they're going to hear? Yeah, he's in there. Leave him alone. Curly says, you raise a valid point. Never thought about it that way, Sherwin. With the trainings, training the offender how to continue offending. And trainings are just a way in which companies have a loophole from getting sued. Because the company can then say, well, if the harassment persisted, we did everything we could as a company. We had a series of trainings, and we made employees sign a statement saying that they wouldn't harass. So the company absolves themselves from liability so they don't get sued. They existed unnamed, meeting, not really it was not really a city girl that said she was tired of the microaggressions. All right, so this hour is over. The 10 o'clock hour, which is hour 2 of the show, we're going to start talking about normal, regular topics. We ranted this first hour. We're good. We feel better. How do we feel? Rick, you feel okay?
Glorious.
All right, Rick feels glorious. We're going to start hour 2 on a new note. We're going to turn over a new leaf. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Your impulsive negative thoughts, reacting. And these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV. The music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
Where strong voices meet strong opinions.
The district had as a whole was 59.5. That was awful. It was bad. But it is not just the NPS story. It is a story for the city of Milwaukee when you talk about some of these schools. So when we talk about the state of education, we just can't always talk about NPS. We got to talk about Milwaukee as a whole and why there are so many failing schools in Milwaukee. But we bash NPS, understand it is beyond NPS. NPS just has to educate your kids. But I love the fact that we have a new superintendent that is acknowledging that these scores are not good enough. I love the level of accountability because Celia said in response to the results, she said we need to grow more and faster to truly meet and exceed the expectations that our families and community have for us and the expectations we have for each other as educators. Our new literacy plan is the first step towards a stronger growth. And I love it.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from 12 to 1, streaming live on YouTube and on 1017 The Truth.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
These two young men to sit and reflect on the fate of the world. For life as we know it, my brother, must go on. And so the hustlers continue to hustle, and the players continue to play.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. If you go to youtube.com, or if you open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe, and you'll see a poll that we have up. I'm going to get to the details behind the poll in a little bit. The poll always predicts the topic I'm going to be talking about later on in the program, and I want you to rate your computer skills. Very simple, very easy question. It is excellent, average, or poor. How would you rate your computer skills? So there was a survey that was done by J.P. Morgan Chase on the lack of digital skills that Americans have. And as time goes on, we're going to need American workers to have better digital skills than they do. Something like 40% of Americans in the workforce right now have insufficient digital skills. But then there are several other categories of employment where there are major shortages, right? So either we got two options. Either we bring immigrants into this country who already have the skill sets that Americans don't, or we double down on better training Americans. And for a long time, everyone said, oh, African-American men need to get into the trades. The trades is only like one of 4 or 5 categories in which Americans have either no skills, poor skills, or the skills are so lacking that it's hurting the profitability of American companies. And if American companies are not profitable, then American companies are going to go out of business. And if American companies go out of business, it's going to have a recessionary effect on the economy. So it's really serious. But what I found in that survey, and I'm going to get to it in detail later, because this is what the future should look like, because we need to create policies today that will begin to address the shortfalls and shortcomings in our workforce in the future. So today we create the policy so that by 2033, all of these lacks of skills will really come to a head where the American economy is going to tank. But one of the categories was management. Our managers here in the United States, not any one particular company, they are underskilled as managers. Now, I'm not asking y'all to comment on what you think about your particular manager. Don't do any of that. But one way you can tell, I just want to share this with y'all. I'm going to get back to Joel Brennan running for governor. Do you work at a place where there are people who do just like the bare minimum? Just like slackers. You know, they don't really have a competitive attitude about work. They're not trying to do the best. Like their work product is low or weak or non-existent, or they rely on other people. Do you know anybody like that? People at your job? Maybe not even at your current job, but maybe at a previous job. And maybe it was a reason why you left, just because there was such a lackadaisical attitude about work that stuff wasn't getting done and deadlines were getting missed. You just work with a bunch of slackers. So what the article says is that the first slacker is not even the employee, it's the manager. if there are slackers that can be identified, people that just don't do work, don't do quality work, they punch in just to punch out, just to get through the day, and they're making it more difficult for other much more motivated employees. The first slacker is actually the manager, because the manager is supposed to notice that, identify that, and cut it out, because it's a cancer that can grow. Because if you think about it, if the person in the cubicle next to you ain't doing Jack sugar honey iced tea, then you eventually going to say, why the hell am I doing all this Jack sugar honey iced tea? If they ain't doing nothing, then I'm going to try and do the least amount as well. And then it's going to spread like a cancer. And if a manager cannot see that, then the first slacker is actually the manager. So we'll talk more about that in detail. But I also want to share with people, it isn't just the trades in which we are lacking labor. It's a whole bunch of other professions and job categories where we need to either better train people through our institutions of public education, or we're just going to have to import people. And I know some of y'all don't like immigrants because the immigrants are taking your jobs, but once we get through this survey, I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in the show, the immigrants are coming here and taking jobs that Americans don't have the skills for. We're giving them jobs because we need the work to get done. But if we don't have the skills and the job needs to get done, then we are literally begging for immigrants. Oh, we can't have immigrants come in our country. They're taking our job. Dummy, the reason why the job is unfilled is because you're not qualified to do it. And so then when the immigrant comes and does the job and does it very, very well, we get mad. Problem is we lack skills. And I think that everybody thought for a period of time that if you just apply for a job, you'll get it. And if you don't know how to do the job, they'll train you. For what? Why would a company waste money training you? And they'll put a lot of money into training an employee, and then you come to find out 6-7 months later, a year later, after how many tens of thousands of dollars of investment in this person, that they suck. Right? Imagine training somebody for a whole year for a job because you hired them with no experience. Then you put all this money into their training, and you send them on retreats, and you did all this stuff for them, and then they turn out to be like a sexual harasser. Hire an immigrant. Immigrants probably sexually harass less. All right, here we go. Joe Brennan, who is not a sexual harasser, by the way. I'll make sure we have a clear line of demarcation there. Joe Brennan, a former top official in Governor Tony Evers' administration, announced today, that he is running to succeed the two-term Democrat, joining a crowded primary field in the 2026 election. Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, told the Associated Press that he would be a governor who both fights President Donald Trump's chaos and dysfunction and works across the aisle with Republicans in the state. Par for the course of this show, because this is a political talk show. We do social commentary as well, and we talk about relationships, and we talk about community, and talk about investments, and we talk about all of the things. But I think through and through, and why a lot of people listen to the show, is because of its political commentary. So when someone announces that they are running for governor, like several people have over the past few weeks, we play their announcement videos. Now, this is no different. We played David Crowley's video, very good video, my favorite one, quite honestly. We played Mandela Barnes' announcement video last week. Maybe it was the week before. Not really a memorable announcement video because Mandela Barnes wasn't even talking about his accomplishments and what he was going to do. Mandela Barnes was talking about his daddy being in the union. And now we're going to play for you because I want to be fair, damn it. I'm fair. Don't make me have to scream at you. I'm fair. We're going to play Joel Brennan's announcement video. So before you push play, Rick, let's give people a little bit of time to go over to the youtube.com, search 1017 The Truth. You'll probably see a still photo of me wearing my gray tracksuit. Hey, Rick, I got on gray sweatpants today. You know, the ladies be liking that. They love it when you wear. Yeah. Hold on, man. No.
You said it.
There's no diddying over here.
You said it.
Ain't nobody doing the diddy. Did he do it? Diddy did it. I think Diddy did it.
Diddling. That's what we're gonna start saying.
Diddling.
Diddy
did the diddling, didn't he? Duh. All right, you ready to play it, Rick? Here we go. Joel Brennan running for governor. All right, on YouTube. Let's go.
Brennan, I'm a Democrat running for governor. You probably don't know much about me, so let's start with some numbers. 10. That's how many siblings I grew up with right here in Wisconsin. We were long on potential, although sometimes a little short on resources. 49. That's how many points future NBA star Nick Van Exel and I combined to score when we played each other in high school. I had 8. He had the rest. 5. That's how many jobs I had to help pay my way through college, like landscaping, baking copies, retail, and deep frying egg rolls. 0. The number of functioning blinkers on my first car. I've raised 2 great kids with my wife Audra, passing on lessons like rolling up our sleeves to get things done and showing up for our community. And for 25 years, I've worked with businesses and nonprofits to create jobs and strengthen Wisconsin's economy. In 2018, I got a call I never expected. Tony Evers had just been elected governor, and he asked me to help lead our state as his top cabinet official. It's easy to forget how broken things were after Scott Walker and his right-wing legislature had spent 8 years gutting state government. We got to work, putting the state on firmer financial footing, generating a budget surplus of nearly $4 billion, and growing our rainy day fund to $1.7 billion. Then COVID hit, and all of that progress was put at risk. We stood up to the extremists and delivered help to tens of thousands of small businesses, farmers, and families across Wisconsin. But today, thanks to Donald Trump's chaos and incompetence, the numbers just aren't adding up for Wisconsin families. Costs, like everything else, are out of control. And coming from a family that had to make every dollar count, I know what that feels like. I'll be a governor who will stand up to Trump's dysfunction and be laser focused on improving the lives of people across our state. With fair maps and a Democratic governor, we can stay true to our values and deliver real and lasting change. I'm Joel Brennan, and it would be my honor to be your governor.
Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, told the Associated Press he would be a governor who both fights President Donald Trump's chaos and dysfunction and works across the aisle with Republicans in the state. He goes on to say, "You don't grow up in a family of 11 kids without learning how to fight." Brennan, the 10th of those 11 children, said in an interview, but there's a difference between just fighting and getting something done. Brennan said he wants to build relationships with both Democrats and Republicans to roll up our sleeves and work together. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On Sunday afternoon, the Milwaukee Panthers continue their homestand as they take on the Indiana State Sycamores.
3-on-2, Pippa White into the paint, reverse layup for EPW. Hubbard nearly dragged the pivot foot at the top. Run a wheel play, Seth gets it back, rises up for an 18-footer and hits it.
Scott Warris has the coverage Sunday starting at 12:30 on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 p.m.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Reserve restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
Tired of managing your rental property? Or maybe you just don't know where to start? At Odom Investments and Property Management, our professional team handles everything from tenant placement to maintenance and rent collection, so you don't have to. Let us take the stress out of property management. Call 855-ODOM-WAY or 855-6 636-6929 and experience the Odom way today.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If better sleep has been hard to come by, you're not alone, and the right mattress can make all the difference. That's why Helix Sleep and Steinhoffels have teamed up to bring their award-winning mattresses to Steinhoffels. Now you can try Helix in person, something you can't just do anywhere. Right now, Steinhoffels is offering 20% off all Helix mattress orders just for our Truth Nation listeners. Head to steinhoffels.com to learn more today. Helix Sleep at Steinhoffels. Better sleep starts now.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Rick, you gonna vote for Joel Brennan? You liked this little video, you said. You don't really comment.
I like it a lot.
All right. You don't really comment on candidates. Not very often. You're not a real political dude. Well, you're more political now than you were. You used to be just a common thug.
That's very true.
Yeah. Now you're a little less common of a thug.
I was a YN once upon a time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was too, kind of. Can you see me in my YN days? No?
No, Sherwin. I can't picture you in a varsity jacket bullying little Caucasian kids.
What? I bullied a little bit.
What was it called again? The
what? I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Where y'all used to bully the gay kids.
Oh, why would you say that?
What was it called again? What was the game called?
We didn't bully. Stop saying I bullied gay kids.
What was the game called?
No. We're not bringing that up. Because when I did bring it up that day, the look on your face was astonishing.
No, it was something.
Rick! That was, I don't know what you're talking about. The game I think you're referring to that I only know from Google is called Schmear the Queer, but I never participated in that.
See, we both was YNs in our own way. We grew up and got ourselves together now.
Somewhat. But no, I didn't ever do that. I was always sticking up for people when I was younger. I was the anti-bully. I said, hey, stop bullying that kid.
No, did you play point him out, knock him out?
What the hell was that?
Where one of your friends point him out and you knock him out?
No! That was a real game that you would punch somebody and try to knock them out.
Yes.
You played this game as a random person.
Yes.
That's felony assault, Rick.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Right.
We didn't do that. We didn't fight much. There were not many fights in my tenure at Brown Deer Elementary, middle, and high school because if there was a fight, the entire class would be punished. Now, in high school, it was different. If you fought in high school, you just got a detention. But we'd always have, like, class trips, like field trips planned, roller skating or whatever, going bowling. And if there was a fight in a lunchroom, the whole 7th grade would no longer be going on the roller skating trip. And here's the thing, it taught us a lesson, but here's what we would do, though. The whole class that was not responsible, obviously, for these two idiots fighting, but we all had to pay the price, and we were all punished for the actions of these two kids. So we'd have recess, and it would be 160 or 170 of us out there on recess, and like 2 teachers. And that was back when teachers smoked cigarettes. Remember when teachers used to smoke? So it'd be 160, 170 of us out on recess. The teachers would be gossiping and smoking their cigarettes. What we would do is we would secretly kick the asses of the 2 kids that fought, that got our whole 7th grade field trip canceled. And we would do it in a very methodic way. We'd make sure the teachers were distracted, so we'd have somebody go over and talk to the teacher about a homework assignment, and the teacher would be talking to that kid, and we would just put boot to ass. Like, how dare you make us gotta cancel the 7th grade damn roller skating trip. So we would kick their asses. But that's how we kept order. It's called conflict resolution. You know what I mean? That's what it was, and I think the kids need more of that now. Brennan said he wants to build relationships with both Democrats and Republicans to roll up our sleeves and work together. Other Democrats in the race include Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez. You know what's unfortunate about Sarah Rodriguez? She is the current Lieutenant Governor, and don't nobody know her. Years ago, I reached out to her because I didn't know her. Because Mandela was Lieutenant Governor. Mandela quit his position as Lieutenant Governor, which was weird. But Mandela quit his elected position of Lieutenant Governor to run for the U.S. Senate against Ron Johnson in 2022. So when Mandela quit, we needed another election for Lieutenant Governor. Sarah Rodriguez ran and won. I put in several interview requests with her, either and while she was running or after she got elected, and all of her interview requests, she ignored all of them. Now, I don't want to talk to her. So that's how that goes. But it's unfortunate for her because she has been the lowest profile lieutenant governor that I think we have ever had. Remember Rebecca Clayfish when she was lieutenant governor? She was very high profile. Like, she went and she did stuff. She had issues that she cared about. Now, we didn't necessarily agree on her issues, but she raised her profile in hopes that she too would be governor one day, because people in Wisconsin got to know you real good. We knew Rebecca Clayfish. Now she ran for governor and her campaign fell short, obviously. Mostly because Donald Trump had so wrecked the Republican Party that the image of Republicans was at least temporarily tarnished in the state of Wisconsin, at least when Rebecca Clayfish tried to run for governor. So Sarah Rodriguez has just had this incredibly low profile, too low, I think, for her to get any traction in the Wisconsin race for governor, because in every conversation about the race for governor, the current lieutenant governor is never mentioned. I'll bet some of you didn't even know that Sarah Rodriguez was a lieutenant governor. See, that's what the problem is. And if you are a current incumbent, meaning your name was on a ballot in all 72 counties and you won and people still don't know who you are, then you did not utilize that position as lieutenant governor as you should have, because lieutenant governor has really no job responsibilities other than preparing yourself and increasing your name identification statewide in hopes that you do one day become governor. She didn't do that. So good luck to her, I guess. Other Democrats in the race include former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, State Senator Kelda Royce, State Representative Francesca Hahn. Can I tell you a little story about Kelda? You guys want to hear a little story? I've known Kelda for 20 years. She used to be the executive director of a pro-choice nonprofit organization many, many years ago, shortly after she finished law school. So because I've known her for so long, she and I came up in state Democratic politics together. When she ran for governor the first time in 2018, how do I tell this story and not get in trouble? What word can I use on the air? I got to ask Zach this because Zach be censoring me. Rick will let me say stuff, but if Zach is in the producer studio, Zach will actually censor me. What word can I use for a woman's breast? I can say breasts, right? Can I use any other word?
Bosoms.
Okay. Give me a few more.
Tatas, biddies.
Zach, biddies are okay?
Are you asking him? I'm producing this show. I'm telling you what to say.
Because Zach will, if I say the word, I'm sorry, when I think of a woman's chesticles, only one word.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Chesticles?
That's a good one. Chesticles.
All right, here's a story.
Cherokees. That's it.
What?
Cherries.
Cherries they're little. Cherries are not. Think about the biggest cherry you've ever seen is what? The size of maybe an OK symbol? Even a big cherry is not very big. Oh, what? Zach, what? Don't do that. Zach is over here. Zach, when they're as big as hers, the one you're talking about, you can't call them cherries. You find them in the melon section. of a specialty grocery store. So when Kelda ran for governor in 2018, I feel like the setup to this story is wrong now. State Senator Kelda Roys, when she ran for governor the first time in 2018, she called me up because I had known her since like 04, 05. She was like, hey, Sherwin, I'm running for governor. I'm like, yeah, I heard. She's like, well, I'm going to be in Milwaukee. Let's catch up. Because I hadn't seen her in years. She's like, I want to talk to you about the campaign. It'll just be good to catch up. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. So we met at a bar on Brady Street. I think it used to be called Jack's Pub. I don't know what it's called now. So
it's still Jack's.
Okay. Before that, it was a 3-level nightclub called Crisp, and they sold pizza. Do you remember Crisp? That might be before your time.
That was before my time. Okay. I know it as Jack's.
So we met at Jack's, and she had fairly recently gotten married, and she had a baby. And she brought her baby with her, which, a mom who was working, she's a member of the state senate. She's also campaigning for governor. Why waste the money, I suppose, on childcare? Just bring your baby along with you. But her child was like young, like 6 months, maybe 8 months. So I walk in, I see her sitting at the bar. I'm like, oh, hey, Kelda. And she introduced me to her little baby. And then we just go on with our conversation, catching up. I ask her how Madison is and why she wants to run for governor. Then all of a sudden, she pulls out one of her chesticles. We're at a bar now on Brady Street, okay? I was like, oh, wait, hey, I didn't think.
She was breastfeeding?
Yes. Now, she had a cover, but I know it shouldn't make me uncomfortable because that's what chesticles are actually for. But the way she did, and she didn't even stop the conversation. She's like, oh, and Sherwin, we're passing legislation, and she pulled it out and she positioned the baby, and she just kept talking. Oh yeah, and I think that we're gonna have a really good policy platform. And I just got kind of weirded out a little bit.
Was your feelings confused? You don't know if you was turned on or not?
I was not turned on because that. When you use the chesticle, I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for this, but it's a real story. And Kelda, I'm nothing against you. I think you're great. But I'm thinking to myself, what the hell was she supposed to do if it's time for the baby to eat? Because I would rather the baby be fed instead of be sitting there with her and the baby is crying.
I mean, it ain't like she's feeding you with it.
This is not about me. It's about.
I know what I'm saying.
It shouldn't have made me feel uncomfortable, and it kind of did, but then I just kind of got used to it. But then I'm thinking to myself as we're talking, because the baby's not going to feed forever. I'm like, what is the takedown going to be like? The takedown is when you detach the baby and you put everything back together. I'm curious as to the takedown, but the takedown was very smooth and very orderly, and she did not really expose very much of herself. So she's like a pro because they have these covers, these breastfeeding covers, and it was great, and we had a fantastic meeting. She ultimately ended up dropping out of the race for governor in 2018, and Tony Evers got elected, but that was one of my Kelda stories. She's going to get very mad at me, I think.
That was a crazy 5-minute story.
Bottom line is, ladies, when you have to, if you're breastfeeding, which you're supposed to, because the breast milk is good for the babies. It makes them strong. They have good brains. When you breastfeed them, it helps their immune system. But people get real freaked out about breastfeeding, and you should not, because that's what babies eat. They eat breast milk. I mean, adults can too, I guess. You ever wonder why you can't buy human breast milk at the store, and you can't put it on your cereal? You ever think about that? We'll take milk from a cow, and cows are disgusting animals. You ever go to a cow farm? It's very gross. They're disgusting. They walk around and poop all day. That's gross. But we drink their milk. A cow udder is disgusting. It's a big, gigantic sack with 17 nipples on it. And let's drink what comes out of there. Isn't that gross when you think about it? But then if you have a tall glass of milk with my Mandela Barnes made peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that is appetizing to some people. But then if you think about human breast milk, that's even more disgusting than milk coming out of a cow's udder. I don't know how on earth we can be so psychologically confused. I'm not the only one. Why is no one backing me up on this? The thought of drinking human breast milk is repulsive, but drinking milk from a bovine animal, It's like, oh, that delicious milk. I love frozen custard. Well, frozen custard comes from milk, comes out of a cow's udder. And cows are gross. They say the cows are very smart, though. But it's not like their milk makes us smarter. So drinking cow's milk is perfectly okay, and ice cream and frozen custard and all of the things that you get from cheese comes from cow's milk. Has anybody... I don't know how far is too far, but has anybody ever thought about making cheese from human breast milk? Doesn't that sound disgusting? Imagine a grilled cheese from a lady.
You ain't on with this one.
Why are you leaving me out on an island? You've never thought about that before?
No.
Look at all the things, cottage cheese and yogurt. People love dairy. People like, and there's dairy farmers.
No, but my intrusive thoughts always wonder, like, how does breast milk taste? But I never done it.
You're kidding.
I never tasted breast milk. My intrusive thoughts, like, you know what? I want to try it one day, but I just never did it. I know the meaning of right and wrong.
What's wrong? That's nothing wrong.
That's very wrong.
No, what's wrong about
You're
it?
taking away from a child.
No, you're not. You
are.
You actually, a lot of it gets produced, and they got to get rid of it, because if they don't get rid of it, they get real swollen and it's painful. So you're doing a favor. Zach, what you grabbing the microphone for? You got some input?
They do make cheese out of it.
You lying?
I swear. New Yorker sampled it in 2011. There's a video from CNN in 2010.
Hold on, dude. You mean
CBS in 2010?
You mean to tell me that cheese has actually been made from human breast milk? What do they call it? Bitty cheese? Bitty? Chesticle cheese? Hi, I'll have a chesticle grilled cheese, please. Okay, that'll be $984. It's probably very expensive.
So you telling me you'll buy it? Have you ever... Didn't you tell us you tasted breast milk before? Didn't you tell us that?
Huh?
You did. You told us a story and everything.
Hey, I don't know who you're talking to. I don't remember.
Matter of fact, you wanted to try it, I believe.
Shh. No.
Freaky man.
Shh. Don't. Why am I like this? I'm serious. Why? I'm scared to look at the YouTube comments. Why don't we take a break? Joe Brennan is running for governor, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. So is David Crowley, and so is Mandela Barnes. And you have a video?
Yeah, we had a video up of breast milk cheese.
I want to see it. Can we play it on coming back? I'm going to take a break. Is it bad? Does it show, like, the production of it? But what does this show, though? Because I'm scared. I'll be seeing it for the first time.
It's not going to show chesticles, if that's what you're wondering.
How do they make it? Like, it's like is it made where normal cheese is made? Okay, why don't we
make cheese at home?
Okay, Rick, I know, but not
and butter.
I don't have breast milk at home. Well, not currently. I'm single. So let me take a break. I'll come back. This is what the people signed up for, you know? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to hit the road in your new car? At Brewery Credit Union, we make it easy with affordable payment options on auto loans designed to fit your budget. Whether it's a brand new ride or the perfect used vehicle, we'll help you get behind the wheel faster. With flexible terms, quick approvals, and personalized service you can trust. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Apply online at brewerycu.com or visit us at Brewery Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Host an unforgettable outing and create special memories with your crew at a Milwaukee Bucks game. Groups of 10 or more can score ticket savings, block seating, and take part in special activities on game days. Showcase your team's talents on center court, score a high five from the pros, and more. There are great options for groups of all sizes. Start planning your ultimate Bucks basketball game day experience today at bucks.com/groups. That's bucks.com/groups.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive On collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Stirring pots, got the heat on blast, whipping up magic culinary class. Milk from the source, straight from the tap. No cows involved, no other mishap. Lactose love, it's a human thing. Cheddar so smooth, make your taste buds sing. Breast milk cheese, yeah, that gourmet squeeze. Spread it on a cracker, you beg me please. From the Milky Way to your charcuterie tray, say it loud. Breast milk all day. Breast milk cheese, yeah, that gourmet squeeze. Spread it on a cracker, you beg me please. From the Milky Way to your charcuterie tray, say it loud. Breast milk all day. Curd so fresh, they dance on the plate. Flavor so bold, it's a cheese debate. Age to perfection, don't need no cow.
I need to be stopped. I also have a remix version of a hip-hop song about making cheese out of breast milk. Oh, because I didn't know that it existed, guys. I never knew. Can we please play the video? I'm very interested in seeing it. So go to YouTube. You'll be able to watch this video.
Get some ice cubes, and then I see all the mother's milk, which is stored in there because my spouse has so much excess milk. Yeah. So I said, what are we going to do with it? Yeah. I mean,
it tasted nice. It was a little bit sweet, and if anything, what stood out more is the texture. The fact that it is, it's a softer cheese. It has a little bit of almost like a little bit of a gelatinous quality to it.
It's not something that's going to be toxic to eat. This is something that just, I don't know about the intent. Why would you do that? But if someone wants to do it, I don't see any harm in doing so.
For me, it's cooking. Yeah, we create in the kitchen every day new dishes. Are they going to make it on the menu? Maybe is mommy milk. Did we ever consider putting it on the menu? No, absolutely not. I made some dishes. We had some fun here in the apartment. We invited some friends over and did a tasting. So that's what it was about for me.
How did we get here?
I'm disgusted.
How did we get here?
That was gross, because as I'm looking at the woman, I know this is terribly unfair for me to do. I'm looking at her, I'm like, I don't want to eat your breast milk cheese. Not yours, ma'am. But they were French, though. So that makes sense. Americans wouldn't do this. Those were weird, freaky Europeans. See, look here. That's why I titled the show What I Did. They weird, ain't they? When you gonna catch some black folks? Now, here's what black folks would do. We would fry it. Hell yeah, I made some breast milk cheese and we fried it too. We served it with some spaghetti and some fish. Yeah, but I didn't know that existed. One of the reasons why I do what I do is to inform people about topics that they were likely unaware of. And I know damn well that y'all had no idea that cheese was actually made from human breast milk. So there you go. You learned something new today. So at the end of the show, when we recap and we say, hey, what did we learn today? Well, look at this. You all should be thanking me for providing you with information that will serve you well at a cocktail party.
That was information we did not need. How did we get here?
Kelda Roy's running for governor.
We supposed to talk about Joe Brennan.
We did. Joe Brennan already announced he's running for governor, but when Kelda Roy's, who is also running, she's a state senator. I think she represents the 77th Senate District here in Wisconsin. I think so. Is that the Senate District, the 77th? Whatever. So I've known Kelda for a long time, and when she ran for governor in 2018, at our meeting, like a catch-up meeting, because I hadn't seen her and talked to her in years, and she wanted to meet with me and talk to me about her campaign for governor, which is par for the course. I had the same meeting with Tony Evers. I sit down with candidates running for office, and then I make a determination whether I want to interview them on the air. At least I used to do that. I don't really have as much time as I used to. I used to vet the people that I would interview and like go through like a sample interview with them in person. Like I'd ask them a bunch of questions, and if I didn't like how they answered the questions, I would never bring them on the air because I don't want to waste anybody's time. But I sat down with Kelda in 2018 when she was running for governor, and she brought her child that was maybe 6 months old to our meeting, and we met at a bar on Brady Street because I think it was near her campaign stop, and she campaigned with her baby. Part of her appeal, I think, when she ran in 2018, is she wanted to appeal to working mothers and talk about how difficult it is to be a professionally employed mom. You know, all the, troubles, I guess, and hardships that comes with that. And so she took her baby around with her while she campaigned for governor in 2018. And so when she and I met, she, of course, had her child with her, and she started breastfeeding her child during our meeting. And I tried not to freak out about it, but I'm thinking to myself, why would I freak out about something like this? That is exactly what is supposed to happen. Because had she pulled out a bottle with breast milk in it, I wouldn't have thought nothing of it. But so instead of having to carry around a bottle, she just, you know what I mean? She wears the bottles. They're a part of her anatomy. And so then, with my creative mind, I was like, hey, what about cheese? Could you make cheese from breast milk? And Rick, you said you never tasted it before, which I find really hard to believe.
Hey, what? Why is that hard to believe?
Because
I never tasted breast milk.
Because you have a child. And
I'm supposed to be like, hey.
No, don't, please don't, because you get too descriptive sometimes. I'm just saying it was right there. It was right there. It's like having a half gallon of eggnog laying in bed with you, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to drink any of that eggnog. It's right there.
That was descriptive.
If somebody laid eggnog in bed with me, I would, at some point, I'd be tempted to get a little sample of it.
Fun fact, I never drunk eggnog neither.
Really?
You just be out here doing any and everything, don't you? You a little loose.
Eggnog it's a holiday favorite. Some people drink it year-round. I don't know if it's even available year-round. Well, I suppose you probably can get eggnog year-round. But no, it's a drink. It's very creamy. It's rich. It's thick.
Gotta watch out for you. You just be out in these streets doing a whole lot of stuff. Just loose as a goose.
Because I drink eggnog. I'm not the only person that drinks.
You drink eggnog and apparently breast milk.
Hey!
What else do you do, Sherwin?
I didn't admit to that. I'm just saying it's sometimes available to you or anyone. You probably can buy it. But anyways, yes, I've had eggnog before. I don't drink it often. If I go to a holiday party, this year I am going to and have been to more Christmas parties than since before COVID. Because I think the Christmas party thing, the holiday party thing kind of died down those years after COVID. But now they're coming back. I miss the good Christmas parties. I even have a Santa suit. Rick, did I tell you I have a Santa suit? I'm thinking about wearing it here one day. I think my last day of work before Christmas is the 23rd. I think that's a Tuesday. So I think I might broadcast in my Santa suit. But no, there's a Christmas party that I'm going to. I got a couple of them on the schedule. I might show up at one of the Christmas parties as Santa Claus. But here's the thing that you all need to know if you decide that you want to wear a Santa suit. Because I wore it to an event a couple of weeks ago. It's really weird. Everybody wants to sit on your lap. If you're wearing a Santa suit, people think it's an invitation to sexually harass you. I'm not kidding you, and I didn't know that until I put the Santa suit on. Now, I've worn Santa hats before, but I've never put on a full Santa suit. I mean, I got the whole thing. I got the pants, I got the Santa jacket, the beard, the Santa hat, the whole ensemble. So I put on the whole Santa suit, and then when I sat down, people were like, oh, ha. They thought it was funny. They thought it was sweet. They go, oh, hi, Santa, ha. I'm like, no, it's not really Santa, it's me. First of all, I'm black. There's no black Santas. Well, in the hood there is. Are black kids confused? Because whenever you go to like the black church or the black events, you see a black Santa, but if you go anywhere else, Santa be white. Do kids know that there are multiple Santas, or do they think that's just one Santa in a bunch of different places? How did I get like this? What's wrong, Rick?
I'm just laughing because it's like, how do we keep getting to these topics?
Stirring pots, got the heat on blast. Whipping up magic, culinary class. Milk from the source, straight from the tap. No cows involved, no other mishap. Lactose love is a human thing. Cheddar so smooth, make your taste buds sing. Breast milk cheese, yeah, that gourmet squeeze. Spread it on a cracker, you'll beg me please. From the Milky Way to your charcuterie tray. Say it loud, breast milk all day, yeah.
You don't like this version? The other version hit a little harder. So Joe Brennan is running for governor. So I think he has as good a shot as any. I think he's the 10th person to enter the race. These things are not connected, by the way. However, I think I do have a new series of questions that I'm going to ask gubernatorial candidates. Like, hey, by the way, candidate, have you ever... Please don't let this be Bob. Please don't let this be Bob. Please don't let this be Bob. Please, if it is, I can't take his call. I need to take a commercial break anyway. In fact, you know what, Rick? I'll send myself to break. Don't even worry about it. Who is it? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You hit the library. Shh, hard. And keep your eyes on the prize. Also, one day you can earn that bachelor's. Finishing what you start where you want, that's worth working for. And here is how you get there. Here at MATC, where smart programs prep you for next-level challenges. Earning your bachelor's can start right away. And graduation is just the beginning. Here's to an education that takes you farther. Here's how you get there. Here at matc.edu/get there.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Help! My mic ain't working. What happened? Yeah. What's going on? Now my music ain't playing. Oh, let me just grab this phone call. Y'all over there looking guilty.
Hello, Sherwin.
Hey! Wait a minute. Listen. Hold on, dude. Listen to me. Listen real good. I need you to not talk about the current topic. So whatever it is we're talking about now, don't talk about that. Talk about something else. You got it?
Oh, sure. And I got millions of things to talk about, but I want to primarily just remind you that, it's beautiful women big and it's beautiful women small. Sometimes I think you think like, who was that very handsome guy? Who do you think you are, Sherwin? You're average. Some women would say, don't suck on my itty-tay. You just got to understand, Sherman, you're average. Don't overthink that every woman would allow you to do that. And on that note, I think I'll talk to you later, sir, because I can't wait till the weekend because you need it. Not me. You need it, Sherman. I'm going to miss you, but you need it.
All right, then. All right, now.
Talk to you later.
All right, so.
That was funny. Today is funny. This is a best of show. Today is hilarious. Bob put you in your place.
It's crazy that Joe Brennan decided today is the day he was going to announce he's running for governor. Of all the days. Tata Thursday. That's what today is. I don't even have...
You did all that preparation for this show.
For nothing. You know what? Let me see here.
Just to talk about breast milk and chesticles.
Okay, let me see here. Make sure I have. Just checking my wallet. Make sure I have everything in. I went to lunch yesterday after the show, and I didn't even know I had cash in here. I got a little bit. The dollar bills too. Well, I got so many singles. Oh, I know why. So I went to lunch yesterday after the show, and I'm not going to tell you where I went, Rick, but it's one of my favorite places to go. It was not my typical where I usually go, but I have another favorite that I haven't been to in a while. And my server, who was new, I knew she was new because I'd never seen her before, and I could just tell she was really, really nervous and very soft-spoken. And I immediately could identify her as being of Somali descent because they have very unique features. And, of course, I was reminded of the incident that we had talked about earlier this week of the Somali couple that was harassed at that Cinnabon store in Ashwaubenon. And as I'm looking at my server, and she's really super soft-spoken, and I asked her to repeat what the soups were, and she said, "I'm so sorry. Please excuse my accident." I said, "No. You don't have to apologize." And she was just being like overly friendly. I could tell that she was trying really, really hard. And here's the thing. I felt really, really bad for her because the restaurant that I was at is not frequented by many African Americans, at least not during the day. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if any of the people in here that had this very delightful woman as their server said anything negative to her because of what Donald Trump said about Somali residents here in the United States, or if any of the people that she maybe came in contact with at that restaurant decided to be nasty to her because of what they saw on that video clip of that woman at Cinnabon. She gave me delightful service. She was just so sweet. She kept coming back and checking on me, and I was very, very nice to her. I said please and thank you many, many times, and she tried to make small talk with me, and I realized something. Because there were other diners in the restaurant, and she would go periodically check on them, but she was spending more time by me at my table because I think she felt safe around me. And at that moment, I realized how vulnerable that woman probably is, being of Somali descent in the United States of America, when Donald Trump has relegated people like her from the country in which she is from to people that don't even belong in this country because they're garbage. And I felt horrible. And I tipped her 50%. Felt really bad for her because in that moment, I envision how vulnerable she must feel, not knowing what ignorant comment may be on the lips of the next person who she serves food to. And this establishment is also known for serving alcoholic beverages, and I can't even imagine what a loose-lipped, too intoxicated North Shore Nancy might say to this poor, dear, sweet woman. I would go back and have lunch there again and request her be my server, but I'm not quite dressed for it. Also, I'm wearing gray sweatpants, and I do not want to inadvertently turn her on. But I felt horrible for how she must get treated. We're going to do better, and we're going to treat every single person we see with a level of respect. Except for Bob! No respect! The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
Watch your mouth.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, your neighbor from down the street, if they see the son or daughter, be like, what are you doing? They gonna call you out. They gonna let you know that they saw you, and then they gonna tell you, come here. Now you know I'm gonna tell your daddy.
That part.
There are a lot of times when people are new to an area, they don't know where to plug in. And anybody who plugs in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you and Dame and Truth Nation would know that there is a significant public outcry when violence happens in our community. Don't worry about the outcry if you're not listening to the right people. So I would encourage her to tune in to 101.7 The Truth and listen to you guys, Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, and definitely Sherwin Hughes every day.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
A TUC. It's called the Senate Civil Suits for Unauthorized Data Seizures. And the continuing resolution that had to be voted on in order to open the government authorizes U.S. senators to file civil lawsuits against the U.S. government, including the Department of Justice, for up to $500,000 in damages per violation if federal law enforcement seizes or subpoenas their phone or other data without prior notification. Hold on, wait a minute. If you have been accused of a crime and there's evidence and probable cause, and the federal government or any investigating agency gets a warrant from a judge to seize your cell phone records, there's nothing you can do about that.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah. Cheesesteak crowded, more names than cows in the field. Campaign signs stacking, truth or fiction, they will. Each face a poker game. Who bluffing for the deal? From the farms to the lakes, who gon' keep it real? Milwaukee to Green Bay, everybody gotta say. So many hats in the ring, feel like a parade. Wisconsin's in. For a win, all the candidates in. Line them up, let the games begin. Ballots on ballots, choice looking thin. Or maybe thick, yeah, we swimming. Yo, they feel like breakfast, grilling every line. Promises popping like bubbles and cheap wine. From highways to healthcare, everybody's divine. But who's plotting cheese curds and who dropping the rhyme? Big talk, small talk.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Why are we like this? I don't know why we're like this. Let's talk to Terry. What are your top expenditures, ladies and gentlemen? So when you get your check or whatever your source of income is, what are the top things that take the majority of your money? Where do you prioritize your spending? We're going to talk about these spending categories and also how price sensitive most middle-class people are. So if these things, these categories of expenditures, if they increase in price, there's a real tangible effect and impact on Americans' pocketbooks and also on the American economy. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that we spend the most money on. And when these things are impacted by inflation or by tariffs, it really has a negative impact on America's purchasing power. And if we have reduced and diminished purchasing power, that can lead to voters voting with their pocketbooks and their wallets instead of their party affiliation. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, let's talk to Terry. Hey, Terry, how are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Sherwin. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Of course, I want to thank you for all you do in regards to your program and educating the black community.
Even today? You're thanking me for today?
You're a special dude, man.
Hold on. Special like how?
You just have such of a encouraging and raw sense of humor that I appreciate.
Oh, thank you.
I call because I want to thank all of the. I want to thank all the people in our community that work at businesses that give excellent customer service. It's always appreciated.
Okay.
And when I experience that, I always acknowledge that appreciation to the people that deliver that customer service. However, I find it on a regular basis that the customer service that we give each other is so terrible in our community. And I hope there's some managers listening from businesses that they run because they are responsible for the poor customer service that we receive. And
do you have an example, Terry? Is there a particular business that you went to where you either received really good customer service, because I want to shout them out, or is there a business you recently frequented where the customer service was poor?
Man, I mean, let me give you this experience. Okay, on Sunday when the Packer game was on, I said I was going to go to Pick and Save in Midtown and buy myself some fried chicken. And so I went to Midtown, and the chicken wasn't ready. I waited for it for about 10 or 15 minutes. The lady handed me a container of chicken, and I proceeded to the checkout counter and paid for it, came home, put it on the kitchen table. Later on, I went to consume it, and when I opened the container up, the chicken was burnt.
Oh, no.
And, you know, I work very hard not to try to get myself upset because, man, it's not a good thing to do. So at halftime, I went back over there, and I went back to the counter, and there was a bunch of people there that was waiting for fried chicken. And I shared my experience with those people that were waiting. However, when a lady came back to deliver the chicken to the people, I said, hey, I'm returning some burnt chicken here. I said, I think I should get one of those chickens that are not burnt. Well, she got an attitude with me, and that didn't happen. So they said they were putting another batch on, so I waited and waited. And then the lady, she appeared again, and I asked her, I said, how can you possibly, or how can anyone possibly put burnt chicken in the container and give it to a customer? And she just went ballistic on me and told the manager that I was harassing her. At that point, I said, you know, maybe it'd be best for me not to get any more chicken from here because this lady might do something to my chicken. I proceeded to the customer service counter, and there was a young lady back there, and I told her I'm here to return some burnt chicken, and here my receipt is. She looks on the receipt and says, I don't see any any chicken on the receipt. And I don't know, I guess she didn't know how to read her receipt. But anyway, this young lady says that I was talking slick to her. I'm a 72-year-old man that got grandchildren older than this lady. And at one point, I got pretty upset, and I kind of voiced my opinion in regards to the Pick and Save store over there. The Pick and Save store in Midtown is getting worse and worse and worse with customer service.
Terry, did you ever get your money back? Did they ever refund you
Yes,
for the? Okay, you got the money back at least.
They did. They did. But you know what? I don't live too far from that store, so I go over there and get ones and twosies, and I would never set foot in that store again because the customer service is terrible, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I hope the manager of that store is listening to what I'm saying here on the station. They got to get it together, man. We in this community, black people on the whole, and I'm not saying everybody, man, because I know a lot of beautiful African-American people. There are people out there that give good customer service. I'm giving a shout-out to them. But, man, there's some people out there that are absolutely terrible. I've been through the checkout counter over there before when co-workers were talking to each other and, of course, using profanity in their conversations. So,
all right.
Thank you for letting me rant. Thank you for letting me rant.
Thank you, Terry, for letting us know about the Midtown Pick and Save. Full disclosure, I have not shopped at that Midtown Pick and Save since... it's been 10 years if it's been a day. In fact, the last time I was even there, I looked at, there's a lot of vacancies at Midtown, and we were going to put together a voter registration drive at one of the empty storefronts at Midtown, and that was fall of 2024, so last year. But then prior to that, the last time I was there, was I voted at Midtown in 2020, but I have not shopped at that Pick and Save in easily 10 years. And I really hate to admit what I'm about to say, but when I go shopping for groceries, I shop in Wauwatosa. I'm also situated geographically smack dab in the middle of the Metro Market in Wauwatosa and the one at Midtown, and when given the choice, it's not even a choice. Plus, I like to go to the Meejers. Y'all know that I like to do the shopping at the Meejers now, and I get excellent service there at the Meejers, but I don't want to put myself in a situation where I may get poor customer service. And so the thing with Terry is, and we've all probably been in a situation where you go and you purchase food or whatever, and you don't look at it because you trust the food is going to be up to satisfactory standards, and you get home and the food is a mess. Driving back, that's the frustrating part, especially if it's cold and it's snowing. Like that extra bit of effort, you're already disappointed because you paid for food that you can't eat. And then getting back in the vehicle, driving back to the store. And here's the thing, you're hungry the whole time and you smell the food, but you can't eat it because food is messed up. And then to be treated poorly, like I don't even want to put myself in a situation where that's even in the realm of possibility. This is why I am so much a creature of habit. And it's also how I can maintain my level of optimism and happiness in the city of Milwaukee, because I only go to the places that treat me good where I'll never have an issue. I am very risk averse when it comes to a new restaurant. I really, really am. It's got to be vetted and vetted and vetted, and my best friends and my family have to go to this restaurant multiple times for me to even consider it. Someone I know, love, and trust has got to speak on behalf of this restaurant. If they don't, then I am not going. I'm not reading y'all little reviews on Google. I don't trust y'all. I don't know y'all. Like, my people know what my standards are, and I'm willing to pay for it. That's the thing. To not be inconvenienced and to get the best level of service and to get a high quality of food, you're going to pay for it. But for me, it's worth it. And if I don't want to pay for it, then I'm going to stay my ass at home where I know the service is perfect. In fact, sometimes the service at my house is topless. Because it's me. I'm not wearing a shirt. Or whoever. I don't know. Maybe somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, don't judge me. I got a real weird dress code in my house. It's weird. It changes frequently. It depends on. Bad boy. Alan, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, Sherwin. Good morning. How are you?
The same.
Oh, okay. I was listening to you. I caught you. I was doing something today, so I didn't listen to the whole show. But I caught something you're asking. What do we spend the most? I heard the thing about the Cinnabon. I'm just going to say this: that woman was out of pocket. There's no excuse for what she did. But I've seen the whole video, and they were saying some things to her too about a hijab or a burqa, and you know. I don't know whether you can't excuse that stuff, but when you're somewhere, we've had people say things to us. I've had
the Somali couple said something to the Cinnabon worker about a hijab.
Yeah, first before you got to watch the whole thing, get the whole story. But you cannot excuse what she said. First of all, you're an employee, right? Whether you like somebody or not. You can't retaliate. You just can't do that. So she's wrong, and I actually called up there, and I let them know, I'm white, and I let them know that what she said was completely unacceptable. And I, for one, and I'm not a Cinnabon guy anyway, but I let them know I'll never go to a Cinnabon. Now, what do I spend most of my money on? Probably my wife. My wife first and foremost, and she's kind of high maintenance. So I'd have to say, do I got to narrow it down, or can I just say her? Wigs can sometimes be $1,000 a piece.
Now, for people that don't know you, Alan, you have an African-American wife. I think that's important to tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why she'd wear the wig, right? The wig. Well, I suppose. But, you know, you got a house full of the heads and all that. But then probably perfume. And the perfume can be anything from the Bath and Body Works, I don't know what's new this year, the Vanilla Collection, to some of the higher end stuff.
Alan, does your wife have a nickname for you? What does she call you? Does she have a pet name for you? Like a cute little name?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, probably the little general.
Wait, hold on, man. Why does she call you the little general?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. That's what you call me, the little general.
That's not
sometimes boo.
That's not offensive.
What's wrong with little general? I don't mind it.
A lot.
No, not to me. There's nothing little about me, my friend. But maybe that's why I should go. I ain't gonna get into that.
Alan, you're like 5'5". You're not a tall fella.
No, she's not.
No,
she's
you.
Not 5. She's not 5'5".
You're 5'5".
I'm over 5'5".
Okay.
I'm over 5'5".
5'7",
I'm not 6
5'8"?
foot, but I'm over 5.
You're about 5'8".
No, about 5'10".
No, you're not.
No, I'm about 5'10".
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. So look at my driver's license. I'm not going to lie about that.
Look at your driver's license. We can't lie on the driver's license.
But okay, so what do we? What was the other part you had? The best service. I'm going to tell you right now, hands down, the best service that I get anywhere is the Family Dollar up here at two places: the McDonald's on Teutonia and Villard. Absolutely stellar.
Really?
Yes, really. They always, if I got the dogs, or I'm driving around town and the beater dog, they always will stop what they're doing and they'll come out and see the pups.
Hold on, the one that's by the it's across from the CVS. That McDonald's on Teutonia Village. That's the one.
The best service. That's the one. That's the best. That's where I live right over there. But that's the best service. Then in a pinch, it'd be the 60th Street up there by the west of the Armory on like 60th and Silver Spring. They're good too. They're always really nice when I go in. Then for a store, the Family Dollar over here at Tonia and that, what is that, Silver Bell Mall or whatever it is, and then probably the hair supply store, the one. Oh man, they'll stop everything they're doing and help me, and then probably any of them. There's one over there by what is that? Not Florist. Is it Florist? No, Florist. The next one, Mill Road.
Land the Plane.
The Mill Road Hair Supply.
All right, so you have a whole bunch of places where you get very good service. Well, thank you for telling us that you...
The worst.
Alan, hold on. You got 30 seconds now. Land the Plane. Where's the worst service? Macy's. Okay. Macy's.
All right. Macy's in the mall down there on Highway 100. Absolutely the worst service. Racist people, just nasty human beings. To where we've had to call corporate, I don't even know how many times. Actually, a manager there got fired a few years ago because they were talking to my wife a certain way. Evil people. Yeah, it's real. Racism's real. It's out there. And if I see it, I call it out. Actually, today we got to go.
Remaining.
Oh, I got to go. Have yourself a great day. I think I stayed on point, didn't I?
Thank you, Alan, for your call. Thank you. You gave us a lot of information.
Hey, God bless you, man. Oh, you asked for it. You wanted 3 points. I think I covered all three of them. There you go, my friend. God bless you. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you later. All right, then. You guys want to hear another breast milk song, or what are we doing? Oh, here's what's crazy. Joel Brennan announced he's running for governor, so he's, I believe, the 10th person to enter into the race. Joel Brennan, he managed Tom Barrett's first campaign for governor. He ran for the Wisconsin State Senate some years ago. He was unsuccessful in that bid. Joel Brennan has also had a lot of very high-profile positions in and around Milwaukee, including in Madison, where he was the director of the Department of Administration for Governor Tony Evers during his first term. He also has served as the chief executive officer of Discovery World Museum, and most recently he has been in leadership at the Greater Milwaukee Committee. Joel Brennan has announced that he is entering the race, a very crowded race for governor of the state of Wisconsin. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, we're going to talk about the categories, consumer categories that Americans spend the overwhelming majority of their money on, and how price sensitive we are to these particular categories. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM, and when we come back, we're also going to talk to Sandra, see what she has to say. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo! You just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes!
There you go.
Yes.
That just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 101.7 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 101.7thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
I'll holler back at y'all.
I got money now.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, ho,
Hello, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, ho, ho. So many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho. Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
At every meeting, at every new beginning, at every celebration, we make better happen. At Cousin Subs, better is more than just a word. It's a promise we serve at every party. Our customizable party boxes, box lunches, party chips, and dozen cookie boxes offer the options you need to please any crowd. Whatever the occasion, we will never settle for being just good enough. Order on our mobile app or online at cousinsubs.com. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Calidora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Met her on a Tuesday night, boots tapping the wooden floor. Her laugh was a wildfire burning. I swore I'd seen her before.
Come on, Rick, you don't love this.
She had whiskey on her lips, danger in her smile. Whiskey on her lips. Woo! Fire in her soul.
Fire in her soul.
She took my heart, left a gaping hole.
Have you ever heard this before, Rick? You never heard Whiskey on Her Lips? Oh. Your honest assessment of this song, because I know this isn't really your genre of music. You're not really a blues dude, southern blues guy. Kind of sounds a little bit like.
I like Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
Tennessee Whiskey. But is my favorite song of Chris Stapleton. Similar to this, but it's much slower.
Okay.
It got soul. You get a buck pass for me.
This has soul.
Then she vanished in the light.
Nah, you gotta listen to Tennessee Whiskey.
I've heard Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah.
It's on my Spotify list. I've heard he's got a few songs on my Spotify. But this is AI. Ah, so you didn't know that. You compared it to Chris Stapleton's. You didn't even know it was AI's.
I didn't say nothing was wrong with it. It's just not my stuff.
Whiskey on her lips. Why am I like this, Rick? What happened to me as a child? You know what I mean? Like, what went wrong? Hey, Sandra, how are you? Can you answer a question for me?
Sure. Hi.
Oh, hi. Why am I like this? What happened to me that I'm like this?
Like what?
Huh. All right. Well, never mind then.
Like what? Tell me.
I'm nuts, Sandra. I don't have it all. I got couple of loose screws. A little cuckoo.
Yeah. Maybe you like that so you can entertain us, because I be cracking up.
Oh, thank
Especially
you.
with alcohol, I just say. But you give us history. I like that. I be listening and I be reading too. And a lot of stuff you say is documented.
Well, thank
you.
you.
Everything, Right.
Appreciate that.
So
I'm glad you get some value
yeah.
out of my show, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing here. Thank you.
You do, because you look up stuff and you research it. Yeah, and I know because I look it up too, and I call myself researcher. I don't dig into it like somebody that really studies all that history, but I dig into it enough, and you realize what you see, what it's all about. But anyways, I called to ask.
Is my show better than Dr. Ken's show? You like my show better than his, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
That's why I got it. It did he'll go back and forth with me, but
he argues.
That's okay. I don't mind it.
He likes to. He messes with you. I've listened on a couple of occasions when you call. He like to mess with you, Sandra, and you mess with him right back.
I do. I push back, and basically because I have to speak up first, because you always hear the negative, and I want to hear the positive. I don't want to hear the negative all the time, because when you go out to not same people, but people talk about it, and then especially the suburban people, I don't even want to hear what they got to say when it comes to us, because if you can't help somebody, you got to shut down.
Amen.
Yeah, but anyways, I called you to ask you. Now, you got a commercial in the beginning that says something about the identification, our info being released without our permission or something.
Are you talking about a promo where U.S. senators passed or tried to pass a bill that if they have their phone records subpoenaed, they could sue the government for $500,000? That promo is actually kind of confusing, but I think that's what you're referring to. But it does not refer to individual people and citizens. Basically, if U.S. senators were found that they were helping plan January 6th, if their phone records became a part of the investigation, those senators wanted to protect themselves. If their phone records got subpoenaed, they could sue the federal government that they actually are for $500,000 for each subpoena. It's kind of confusing, but I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, because I saw that, because they can sue and get paid for it without their permission. If they do it without their permission,
correct,
they can sue.
And investigations are always without people's permission. Exactly.
So who are the biggest crooks? Why they don't want us to find out what's being done, that they're doing?
Because they're guilty.
Especially if it's illegal.
It's very illegal. Not only is it illegal, they did something illegal, and they want to get paid if they are ever held responsible for doing something illegal. So what they're basically trying to do is discourage investigators from wanting to look at the phone records of U.S. senators, including Ron Johnson, because it likely will implicate them, because there's reason to believe that U.S. senators were helpful in planning January 6, 2021.
So it's Trump's denial of the vote the last time he lost. Yeah, I understand. That's why I call you to, because when I see them doing that, when they can release them from being, charged with all this stuff and their identity, not giving permission for that, then I'm looking at us. They'll do it to us, but we can't fight ours. We can't fight against ours. That's what I'm mad at. But, that's why I call to ask. And then just one more real quick thing. Like, I was out in West Bend one day. I went to get this real ID. And so when I went into the building, first I went to the main license to get my real ID. License plate, where you get your place. Anyway, so the lady, my card had my first name, my first marriage, and my second marriage on my Social Security card. So when I gave it to the girl, she had to go to her boss. Her boss sent her back to me and told me to go get identification to prove my first name. So I had to I got married here, so there was no problem. So I would have to leave there, go to City Hall, and come back with that information. So I went back with the information. So she said, well, I'll take this to my boss. She said, the next time, she said, he better take it this time. He must have said something to her fussy or something. So she came back to me, and he accepted it. But anyways, on my way out, somebody was parked next to my door, so I couldn't get out the car. So, I couldn't, They were parked next to the door. Not next door to me, I was the driver. They were parked on the driver's side, but I couldn't turn my car on to get out because the guy in the car had his door open, so I couldn't get out. But anyways, I went to his girlfriend. She was driving, so I asked her because she closed his door so I can get out. She threw her hand up. But anyways, when she threw her hand up, I had somebody riding with me. This was in, and my sister-in-law went over there and slammed the door on him, and he had his leg out, in the door. She almost slammed his leg up. But I bet you he moved that car in. But that's what's good, and I thought it was racist to me.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, before you go, Sandra.
Yeah.
The next time you get into a little back and forth with Dr. Ken, I want you to ask him where he was on January 6, 2021, because he sure enough wasn't here. Ask him where he was at. See what he says.
I'm going to ask him.
You should.
I sure am. I will.
All right. Thank you, Sandra.
Okay.
All right now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Our first day broadcasting 101.7 The Truth, the first day was January 4th, 2021. That was our first day. 2 days, 48 hours later, it was January 6, 2021. You can imagine what we were talking about from January 7th on, right? The attempted coup led by Donald Trump. Dr. Ken wasn't here. I'm not saying he was out there. I'm just saying he wasn't in here. So next time y'all call in Dr. Ken, ask him where he was at. Did Sherwin tell you to ask me that? I'm a contrarian. It's funny. I'm going to take a break, come back. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Ken Harris, Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris airs here on 101.7 The Truth from 4 until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Okay, take a break now. Oh, Ricky, I almost forgot to tell you. Oh, my goodness, and here the show's almost over, and I forgot to tell you this. You ready? Real important. Joe Brennan decided he wanted to run for governor. So he announced that today. So he's, I believe, the 10th person in the race. David Crowley's in the race. Mandela Barnes, Sarah Rodriguez, Kelda Royce. She's a state senator who represents the district in Madison. I talked about Kelda. I've known her for 20 years. She's actually a friend of mine. Her policies are a little too far left for me, but that's what happens when you're a legislator in Madison. You're not really grounded in reality because Madison is not even a real place. So there you go. I'm going to take a break, come back, talk about these consumer categories that we spend our money on. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Your benefits, competitive. And you built a culture so healthy, it's practically kombucha. Also, you can recruit the best. Building the strong workforce your company needs? That's worth working for. And here is how you get there. Here at MATC, where skills get built, best practices get hands-on practice, and industry-led programs equip candidates for their first day. Going up. By graduation day. Here's to turning real up-and-comers into your next hires. Here's how you get there. Here at MATC.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week, and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week. Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today, and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just a what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm gonna start calling the studio the Hit Factory. This is a song about Al. I'm pretty much a genius. I mean, not really. I have a little help from artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to let you know that the Time Magazine Person of the Year is, in fact, the architects who have created artificial intelligence. Something that I have found helpful, very useful, and I incorporate it into my program, whether it be music, whether it be fortifying details about particular topics that I share with you. It has really changed the landscape of doing research. I think the most unique thing about it, though, is just what I have been doing this show. If there's an unusual topic, I can create a song that encapsulates whatever that topic is. And I can create a song. I'm so good now. I'm so good. I can create a song in about 30 seconds. In fact, you know what? Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Go ahead and throw a couple of random topics about anything and everything. Doesn't matter what it is. And the topic that I find most creative and or compelling, I'll make a song about it. I'll make a song about it and I'll send it to you. But the topics better be good. Because if the topics suck, I'm not going to make a song for you. Okay? All right, here we go. Housing, including rents and mortgages, is the largest expense for most Americans. Renters, disproportionately represented in the bottom 60% of income earners, often spend 30 to half of their income on housing, and that includes utilities, property taxes, and insurance. Next is transportation, not a shock to anybody. It's why I am such a proponent of public transportation, because it takes a big old chunk out of your budget. Car payments, fuel, of course, insurance. You have to have insurance because it's mandatory in Wisconsin. Maintenance, etc. It is a necessity because of America's geography, in which 85% of workers need a car to get to work. Our next highest expenditure, groceries. So we are very what we call price sensitive to these things. So if the price of any of these things go up, it can have a profound effect on households, on budgets, and the American economy. First is housing, next is transportation. Number 3 is food. It's a highly shared cost across every American household, particularly, get this, the bottom 90%. So 340 million Americans are price sensitive when it comes to the increased cost of putting food on the table. Next is healthcare. I think the healthcare is going to go from 4th to probably 2nd, assuming that the Republicans who control Congress and the federal government do not find out or figure out a way to work with Democrats to reinstate the Affordable Care Act tax subsidies. So healthcare and healthcare premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket expenses. And the last one is actually taxes. Payroll taxes hit the bottom 90% of income earners harder because they apply to wage income with no upper cap until the Social Security wage limit. So the expenditures in which we are spending a disproportionate amount of our money, in which the majority of Americans are price sensitive, are in this order: housing, transportation, food, health care, and taxes. But I think moving into 2026, health care without those tax subsidies or those premium subsidies for Obamacare, I think insurance is going to probably outpace groceries and maybe even transportation. Let's talk to Brian. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot. That AI song you made after I got off the phone the other day,
yes.
That one was a little strange.
So are you, Brian. You're a strange person. You deserve a strange song.
Yeah, well, I agree. But the topic I would say is who saved the auto industry?
I don't know. People? Obama?
I saved the auto industry. I saved the American auto industry.
No, you didn't.
Remember? Yeah, I did, because they were, back in 87, they were wondering why they were losing all market share to Honda and Toyota, and they couldn't figure it out. And back then, it was only one radio station that would listen to people talking nationally, and that was the Larry King Show. And guess who talked to all the leaders of industry back during that time, back during 87, and told them that it's real simple. Honda and Toyota makes their cars look better. They're rounded, they're smoother, and all you have to do is stop making ugly cars like the 1987 Chrysler New Yorker. After that aired, they started making smoother-looking cars. The first one was the cab forward design that Lee Iacocca came up with, the Dodge Intrepids. Most of the cars after 87 started looking nicer. They started looking nicer. They started looking like you got sportier looking cars to this day, like the Mach 5 or something like that, or you like your Nissans. The rounded body style, the smooth aerodynamic shape came from me, a black man. Nobody was making cars until I told them they was making ugly cars, and that's why Americans weren't buying their cars. Nobody was doing that until I did that in 87, period.
Brian, let me, just so I'm clear.
I've told you guys this story for years.
Hold on, man. Just because you told a story don't have nothing to do with it being true. So you sitting here telling me because you happen to be a random caller to the Larry King Show saying that American automakers needed to make vehicles that were smoother and rounder and look better. They listened to you. Not all of the years of research and development, not all of the years that it takes for designers and engineers to put together a body style, that had nothing to do with any of that. You called the damn Larry King Show, and then American automakers, including Lee Iacocca of Chrysler, said, oh, snap. A dude named Brian called the Larry King Show. Let's listen to him and tell all of our designers have been working on vehicle shapes for many, many decades. Screw you. We're going to listen to a caller on the Larry King Show. You believe that's what happened?
Check this out. Now,
okay.
Let me tell you. Why would they be on the Larry King Show if they had a clue about what they were doing? They didn't have a clue.
Brian, you know how many years a vehicle and a vehicle design is in development before they bring it to market? You honestly?
Yeah, I know about that. I know about the auto shows and all that kind of stuff. I used to go to them all the time. They've been doing that shit, doing that for years. I knew about all that. But it took a person like me to kick him in the butt to say, look, stop making your cars ugly and people will buy them.
All right. Well, Brian, we owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean it. All right. Have a good day.
Yep.
All right now. Like, what's the point of anything? Brian also thinks the earth is flat, too. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skill categories in which Americans are sorely lacking. It also corresponds to the poll that we have on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, and hit subscribe. And I'm just asking you to rate your computer skills. Are they excellent? Are they average? Are they poor? So far, with 102 people voting, 13% of the people who responded said their computer skills are poor. 51% said average, and 36% of you say that your computer skills are, in fact, excellent. The statistic that came from a survey done by J.P. Morgan Chase, one of the world's largest financial institutions, says that about 40% of Americans actually have poor computer skills. I am glad to know that 87% of the respondents to this YouTube poll for this show have people ranking their computer skills at least average and going all the way up to excellent. So I think that's a testament to you all. Let's talk about some of these categories on the other side. And no, the skilled trades and welding and HVAC and carpentry and plumbing is not the only skill that Americans are lacking. There are other skills as well, including the skill of being a manager. We'll discuss that on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On Sunday afternoon, the Milwaukee Panthers continue their homestand as they take on the Indiana State Sycamores.
3-on-2, Pippa White into the paint, reverse layup for EPW. Hubbard nearly dragged the pivot foot at the top. Run a wheel play, Seth gets it back, rises up for an 18-footer and hits it.
Scott Warris has the coverage Sunday starting at 12:30 on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 p.m.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
It's almost Christmas, and Capco's 20th anniversary Kids to Kids Toy Drive is happening this Saturday at the Kasmerick Center in Grafton.
Join us and WTMJ for a celebration of giving and holiday cheer, featuring student musical performances, a special tribute to Zaki County first responders, and the joy of giving back.
It's a free event. Just bring a new, unwrapped toy to help a child in need this holiday season. Be part of something magical. Visit kidstoKidToyDrive.com, and we'll see you this Saturday in Grafton.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Gruber's Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ryan on the line, crackle in the phone, static in his tone, claiming he's not alone. Earth flat as a pancake, syrup on the side, aliens in the sky, he swears they never lie. Talk radio, kingpin, dialing at dawn, tinfoil crown, he's got it going on. Chemtrails in the clouds, they poison the air. Host says, Brian, man, take a breath, we care. Brian on the line, he's got theories to share, waves in his voice, static everywhere. He says, don't trust.
77% of healthcare organizations report shortages and skills gaps in nursing. There's a 362,000 nurse shortfall in the next 7 years. Demand for registered nurses and practitioners outpaces supply by 177,400 entrants versus 1.9 million openings through 2032. This gap threatens patient care access, increases costs up to $4,129 per vacancy, and strains social assistance, contributing to broader economic losses from delayed recovery and higher healthcare spending, which is already 18% of the gross domestic product of the United States. Instead of encouraging your black men and your black boys to go be an HVAC or a welder or a plumber or a carpenter, tell them to go be a nurse. Engineering and STEM skills, software engineering and data. 76% of IT engineering firms face talent shortages of 210,000 at minimum. Only 33% of U.S. college degrees are in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, despite needs for AI, data analytics, which is 44% of the leaders cite that there are shortfalls in that category and projected management shortfalls as well. That limits innovation and tech. There's a 76% shortage rate in manufacturing and reducing productivity, exposing the economy to global competitiveness risks. Whew. With $2.5 trillion in potential global loss by 2025. Skilled trades, welding, and construction. 75% of industrials report gaps. 400,000 welders short by 2025. 2.1 million manufacturing workers are going to be needed in the next 5 years. An aging workforce and entry barriers leave 500,000 construction roles unfilled, impacting infrastructure projects and housing. Only 51% of high schools offer relevant training, costing the economy through delayed projects $1 million a year. $1 million per project per year. Management and leadership, the largest overall shortfall in the American economy. We are short 2.9 million managers. Affects professional offices across sectors. 74% of hiring managers note candidates lack these, leading to inefficiencies in decision-making and operations with ripple effects on economic output in finance and legal fields. Soft skills, critical thinking, and communication. 70% of HR leaders identify those gaps. 55% of organizations in America are affected by a gap in soft skills, a gap in critical thinking, and a gap in communication and teamwork. I thought teamwork makes the dream work. Surveys show 70% of firms report deficiencies, up from 55% just 4 years ago, impacting collaboration and hybrid work. This reduces adaptability to AI disruptions. 32% of jobs are going to be affected, fostering $8.5 trillion in unrealized revenue and widening inequality as underrepresented groups face barriers to high-wage roles. Let's talk to Al. Hello, Al. How are you today? It's Thursday. I hope you got you some. Did you get you some?
Oh, I'm good on that. The weekend to be here. But first thing I wanted to say, how about tell black people do the both? Tell black people get an education and do trades. You can't multitask. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And another thing you forgot to tell these Republicans, Now, this is for you working white Republicans. Wealthy white folks look at working white Republicans as poor white trash. You will never get an invitation to Mar-a-Lago. They look at you as black people. The only thing that make you working class white Republicans and you poor white working Republicans, the only thing they put in your head is be glad you're not a brown person. That's why y'all are so paranoid. I really think y'all should have on fur sundresses with big ostrich legs because your mindset and your mentality is like an animal. And a lot of them got their millions of dollars when they had their construction companies because they was hiring goddamn immigrants. Because when it comes to construction, a lot of you white men is lazy as hell. So you get the migrants because they work fast. They be out there. They be out there in the wintertime. Y'all white asses complain about everything. That's why you so goddamn paranoid. You don't like competition. You drag your feet. Your white women sit in the house. They don't work. That's why they dumb as hell, and that's why they vote for you, because they know you a dumbass. That's why the Republicans move like they do. All y'all had to do is do right and stop being like the bastard that raised you, but you choose not to. Now, you get mad at migrants. You can't pick no fruit because all the farmers don't even like how y'all work. You're slow. Y'all don't know about no staggering theory. You don't know how to do plumbing, electrical. You barely know how to do pedophilia, but y'all learn that very well. You know how to be a snake because that was taught to you from birth. But if you did what you supposed to do and stop being a bastard, all of y'all wouldn't be so goddamn paranoid. All of them paranoid. When y'all killed Nat Turner, you kept killing because you were so paranoid about how you was raised. But these dumb founded Republicans let a dumbass put all that sugar honey iced tea. That's why they act like animals, and they belong in a goddamn cave. I said it. If you don't like it, when you look at a black person, kiss the inside of their ass. Because after you get done, you're still going to be at the bottom of the goddamn barrel. And the wealthy white folks still going to look at you as poor white peckerwoods. And I know a lot of them. And they talk about you like sugar honey iced tea. But they love you because they can get your vote. Because it doesn't take very much. Have a great day. Bloop, bloop.
Joe Brennan is running for governor, so maybe he'll address some of those issues. So what have we learned today? Did you know you can make actual cheese out of human breast milk? Yeah, I had no idea either. That's crazy. I don't know if I'd try it. I don't know. You'd have to serve it to me on a cracker and then tell me afterwards. Because if I knew ahead of time, I might pass. So we also have a skills gap in places other than the trades, including in STEAM professions and in management and, of course, healthcare, which is putting a pretty big strain on our healthcare resources. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna go home now, okay? Because I want to go home. Oh, my God, tomorrow's Friday. Don't be acting up tomorrow. We're going to have a good show tomorrow, okay? But right now, I got to go. Goodbye.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace in the Time Is Now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is